Welcome to yet another Friday gentle yoga session. Last time we did focus on grounding, and this week I am going to focus on compassion and heart opening. Being that it is the week of Valentine's Day, I thought that might be an appropriate practice for today. So a couple of resources that I have today, the Radiant Sutras by Lauren Roche. The Radiant Sutras are a whole bunch of practices for meditation. And while Lauren Roche is not a Sanskrit scholar, he translated these more from a sense of feeling of the sutras. So we'll be looking at one of those. And then one of my favorite books, Mala of the Heart, 108 Sacred Poems. Just a couple of nice things to focus, to give you a place of focus for your mindfulness or meditation practice. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you, just taking a moment to arrive. Once you arrive in your physical position, you might take a nice long exhale and allow the mind to arrive in the same place as the body. Check in with the physical body. Notice any places that might be asking for your attention through pain or strain, illness or injury. Just observing the state of the body today and what it might need. Using any props or adjustments as needed as you move through your practice to support your physical body. Check in with the mental state and notice where the mind has been today. Agitated, calm, projecting, reflecting, just observing the state of mind of the day without judgment. And check in with the mood or emotional state and notice what might be affecting your mood of the day. Just allowing whatever is to be. And check in with the energetic state, noticing, do you feel energized or lethargic, agitated or calm? Again, without judgment, just observing the energetic state and bring your awareness to your breath. The breath is a good reflection of our energetic state. So you might notice if the breath is slow or fast, deep or shallow, smooth or rough, or somewhere in between. Just observe the breath without trying to change it. Today's practice is a compassion and heart-opening practice, so let's bring our hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra and let the thumbs touch the breastbone so that you're feeling contact with your heart. Maybe you can even feel the heartbeat through your chest. And if you like, you can close your eyes for a moment here. Lengthen the spine, feel the body rooting into the earth and the crown lifting. Feel the breath as though you're drawing it in through the heart. And then releasing it out as though through every pore in the body. So breathing in through the nose, but feeling as though that breath is flowing in through the heart. And then releasing out the entire body. And just take a moment here, set an intention for your practice. And may I suggest your intention today be something to do with compassion or heart-centeredness or love, particularly self-compassion. May I express compassion to myself and others, might be a good intention. And then we'll release that and we'll come on to child's pose. So knees wide, toes touching, forehead down, hips sinking down to the heels, arms extended. So starting out here, letting the chest release toward the earth so that heart, that area we were just touching with our thumbs, is now releasing down toward the earth. Release the forehead down, spread the fingers wide, extend the arms, feel the hips releasing down and come back to the breath awareness. And find that even wheel of inhale and exhale, breathing in through the nose, expanding in all directions on the inhale. Exhale, feeling that contraction moving inward. And maybe you feel your breath as a sort of a heartbeat. As you inhale, you're expanding from the heart outward. And as you exhale, you're releasing and bringing it all back into the heart. So trying that for a few more breaths. Notice where the thoughts are here. Allow the mind to settle into the heart, into the present moment with a couple more breaths, remembering your intention. And then we'll rise up to all fours on an inhale when you're ready. And we'll simply move through our cat and cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the head and chest, expand, exhale, round the spine, see the belly, drop the head. See if you can find movement in the entire spine from head to tail as you move through your cat and cow. While still feeling that connection with the earth, reaching the spine up, head and tail, and then center of the spine as you flow through cat and cow. And one more breath like that, allowing some movement in the shoulders as well. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine and bring your right arm up high, looking up at that right hand, coming into our first twist, opening through the chest here, staying rooted through the knees and left hand. One more breath. And then as you exhale, sweep that hand under the left arm, right ear comes down. And then you can walk that left hand forward if you like, and just resting here and feeling the breath flowing, threading the needle. Releasing any tension in the shoulder, the upper chest, any striving or effort there. See if you can just allow it to be. Notice where you feel this. One more breath. Then we'll bring that left hand back to where it started. Bring the right arm around, come back into our tabletop position, another cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. So around the spine, see the belly. Come back to neutral. And then we'll lift that left arm, gazing up, staying rooted through knees and right hand, and breathing here. Feeling that twist in the upper spine. Couple more breaths. And then sweeping that arm under the right, extend it out, left ear comes down, walk the right hand forward and breathe here, releasing. Matching inhale to exhale. Notice where you feel it on this side. One more breath. And then we'll slowly bring that right hand back to where it started. Plant the hand, arm comes around. One more cat and cow. Inhale and exhale. And then back to neutral spine. We'll curl the toes under, walk the hands back so that we're on the heels with toes curled under just for a couple breaths or so. And then see if you can do this without touching hands to the floor. If you need to, that's okay. But see if you can get up onto the toes with hands at heart and then come up to standing. And then we're going to do a few standing poses. So rooting down through the feet, Lift all the toes, spread them wide, and then place them back down, and then feel the arches lift slightly. Feel that steadiness, that sthira in the feet, and then that strength moving up the legs. And you can start with palms facing forward. Draw the head back in line with the rest of the spine. And we'll inhale the arms up. And then exhale, bend the elbows and find a little back bend. And then inhale up. Exhale, find that little back bend. Gaze up as you exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Do 2 more like that. And then we'll inhale up and leave the arms up. And this time we'll interlace the fingers and press the palms up and away. Like you're trying to get as tall as you can, but see if you can keep the shoulders kind of down away from the ears. So you're not reaching up like that. You're more lengthening through the whole spine. Inhale, and then exhale, bring hands behind the head, keeping the fingers interlaced. So inhale and exhale. And then flowing with the breath that way. Feeling a little more length through the rib cage with every inhale. And 1 more like that. And then we'll inhale, arms up, and this time just bring the palms touching, palms together like this, overhead. Drop the shoulders, stay rooted. Feel as though the rib cage is kind of coming together in the front, but the collarbones are wide. So we're not splaying the ribs open like this. We're just kind of finding that open and lengthen. So this time we're going to reach the fingertips toward the ceiling as we arc our body to one side. Just even breath here. Just come to your comfortable edge. And then inhale back up, and then to the other side. Staying with that flow of breath, maybe noticing, does one side feel a little more open than the other? Just noticing, observing without judgment. 1 more breath here. We'll come back up and then we'll go to each side 1 more time. So to that first side, maybe you can find a little more opening. Maybe you can spiral the chest a little more toward the ceiling. Lengthen on the inhale. One more breath. And back up. And then to the other side again. Coming to your comfortable edge. Maybe turning the chest toward the ceiling a little more. Maybe reaching a little more with every inhale. One more breath. And then inhale up. Release the arms. You can shake it out a little. Give the shoulders a little release. And then we'll come to the front of the mat and set up for our sun salutation. So feet hip width apart. Nice and grounded. On your inhale, arms float up. Gaze goes up while staying rooted through the feet. Exhale, forward fold, maybe a little bend in the knees here. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step the right foot and then the left foot back. 1 breath here. You can do this from knees if you like to. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Lengthen the spine, spread the collarbones, gaze straight ahead. And exhale back to that child's pose. Knees wide, toes touching. Chest sinks down, feeling the heart release. Couple breaths here. Inhale, bring the head up. Come up onto hands and knees. Exhale here. And then next exhale, step your right foot up to your hands, coming into this low lunge. So you can come to fingertips if you want. Lift the chest, gaze straight ahead, root down through the tail, through the left knee, through the right heel, staying rooted and grounded, but lifting through the crown. And next inhale, we'll bring the arms all the way up, and then bend the elbows and find that back bend like we did when we were standing. And stay here and breathe. Continue to find length in the spine with every inhale. One more breath. And then release the hands down. We'll come back to that child's pose again. So right foot comes back, sink the hips, chest to thighs, forehead down, couple breaths. Inhale back to all fours. Take a breath here. Next exhale, the left foot comes up. Maybe come to fingertips, finding that opening through the chest, rooting down through right knee, left heel, and fingertips, collarbones wide, gaze straight ahead, even breath. One more breath like this, and then we'll bring the arms up. And the elbows lift the chest, breathing here. One more expansive breath here. And then release, hands down. Back to that child's pose, knees wide, toes touch. Sinking down, chest toward the floor. Next inhale, back to all fours. Curl toes, downward facing dog. We'll just stay here for a few breaths, finding your downward facing dog, rooting through hands and feet. Really reach that tail up, keeping the arms and ears aligned and feeling strength through the whole spinal column, the center of the body, the rib cage, the navel, the arms, everything holding you in place, steadiness and ease without too much straining or causing any pain or discomfort to the body. See if you can remain here in a comfortable place for a few more breaths. And now look up at the hands and exhale, step the feet up. Come back to our forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up, come up to standing. And then exhale, hands back to heart, back to our Anjali Mudra. Thumbs touching the breastbone and feeling the breath, feeling the heartbeat. Connecting to your own rhythm, your own heart. And drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. We'll add on to that. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, right back to down dog. So plant hands and step the feet. One breath here. Next inhale, reach your right leg a little high. And then exhale, gently bring that right foot all the way up, coming into our warrior one stance. So arms can come up, right knee is bent, ground down into outside edge of left foot. We'll inhale and come back into our back bend with elbows bent. And then exhale, come forward and actually reach the whole torso and arms forward. So inhale, coming back. And exhale forward. A couple more like that. lifting through the heart as you come back. And then we'll come back to a neutral warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Doing this from toes or knees. Lower halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. One breath here. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, slowly step that foot up. Setting up for warrior one stance here. Arms come up. Next inhale. Lift the chest, bend the elbows, find that little back bend. Exhale, arms come overhead, tilt forward. Staying grounded in the outside edge of that right foot as you flow in and out with the breath. And one more like that. Back up to neutral. One breath. Exhale, plant hands. Back to our plank. And we'll slowly lower all the way down to the belly. You can bring the feet together, tops of the feet down, forehead down. Walk the hands back so that they're toward the lower part of the rib cage. Squeeze elbows toward each other. Press down into the tops of the feet and inhale, lengthen and lift into our cobra. And we'll stay here for just a few breaths. Two more breaths here. And on your exhale, release down. Press back into your wide knee child's pose. Sink the hips, sink the chest, let the forehead rest. Couple more breaths here. Really allowing a deep rest in this child's pose. So you're not even thinking about what's coming next, just being here. After your next nice long exhale, we'll gently come back up to all fours. Curl the toes under, come back to our downward facing dog. And then look up at the hands and step the feet up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, hands back to heart. And then we'll go to our tree. So we're going to start by grounding through both feet. Evenly rooted. Feel that center line of the body lifting you all the way up. Hands are pressing together at heart, thumbs touching the sternum. And just bring the weight to your left foot. Bring the toes to the floor and heel to the calf. And see if you can stay grounded but not gripping through that left foot. So you're rooted down, but you're not crunching the toes. Come back to the breath awareness as though you're bringing the breath into the heart, expanding, and then bringing it back in, sending it out on the exhale. So and if you like, you can add the mantra for the heart chakra, which is yam. You might even think that yam on the inhale or on the exhale or both. So once you've established yourself in your breath, you might want to bring that foot up to the calf. Point that right knee out, stay grounded and rooted, stay nice and tall. Still feeling that breath energetically moving as though expanding into your heart. And then the entire body contracting around that breath as you let it out. Now you can either stay here with the foot, or if you want a little more flexibility challenge, you can perhaps bring the foot up to the upper leg, keeping that right knee pointed out. So you might notice from here, it's a little more of a flexibility, maybe a little more of a balance challenge. And from here, it's a little bit more of a balance and strength challenge. So you can choose what you like for your tree. We'll bring the arms up. And then again, taking that lifting back bend, elbows bent. See if you can bring your gaze a little higher than wherever it is right now. And the higher you bring your gaze, the more challenging your balance will feel here. So find that edge where you feel sufficiently challenged, but you're still able to stay rooted and grounded and lifted and breathing. A couple more breaths wherever you are here. Bring hands back to heart. We'll release that. Mindfully place it back down, maybe shake out a little. And we'll go to the other side. So rooting through that right foot, left foot starts out, toes on the floor, knee points out, get tall, bring awareness to the heart, the breath. When you feel sufficiently stable, maybe bring the foot up. Make any little adjustments that you need to. Focusing your gaze on a non-moving point might help with your balance. Notice if your head is in line with your spine, collarbones wide. Again, we'll bring the arms up. And then finding that little back bend, that lifting. Bring the gaze up slightly from wherever it is, as high as it feels like you're not losing control of your balance. And stay there, breathing into the heart. Maybe one more breath here. We'll gently bring it back. Mindfully release that foot. Shake out the legs a little. We'll come back to the front of the mat. Exhale, drop the chin. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. One breath here. Again, dropping to knees if you need to or want to. Exhale, lower down halfway. One breath here. Inhale. Upward facing dog, heart is open, lifted. And then we'll drop to the knees and come back so that our hips are right over our knees. And then we'll walk our hands forward, keeping the hips over the knees, and continue to walk the hands forward, dropping the heart down toward the earth. Looking forward, coming to your comfortable edge here. So you might not make it all the way down to the floor with your chest or your chin. We're just moving in that general direction. Keeping the hips over the knees, breath smooth. So Anahatasana, Anahata is the heart. So we're dropping the heart toward the earth. A couple more breaths. And then we'll gently walk the hands back. And then back into our wide knee child's pose once again. Couple more breaths here. Maybe hearing that mantra yam, 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 reverberating in the heart, in the chakra of the heart. And the color for that is either green or pink. And then we'll gently come back to all fours. And then again, on to the belly. This time we'll do feet about hip width apart, maybe a little wider. And arms at your sides, palms up. Release everything onto the earth. And then with an inhale, lift everything that you can up off the earth. Inhale up, squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale, release down, turn the head to one side. Inhale, lift up again, head comes to center. Exhale, release head to other side. We'll do that one more on each side. With your breath. And then after this next inhale, we'll stay up there for maybe 3 to 4 breaths. Like you're trying to lift the heart a little more with every breath. And then when you're ready, release back down, forehead down. Release everything. And press back to your child's pose. Coming back to this sort of center hub of the wheel, if you will. Coming back to child's pose between every series of movements to reconnect the heart to the earth. Smooth out the breath. Right, and then we'll come back up to all fours. And then come up onto the knees. Curl the toes under. Exhale here. Inhale, sweep your left arm all the way overhead and around to that left ankle or left heel. And then as that goes down, right hand comes up. And look up at that right hand. So lifting the heart, even breath. Couple more breaths here. And then on an exhale, we'll reverse that. So arms kind of windmill back to how they were. And then next inhale, right arm comes up and around to that right heel as the left arm comes up. Lift the heart, breathing here. One more breath here. And as you exhale, arms come back down. Sit back on the heels. Close the eyes if you like, or softly gaze in front of you on the floor. And just take a moment here. Check in again how the body is, the energetic state, the thoughts, the mood. Just taking stock of your state of being right now. And then we'll open the eyes and we'll come back up onto the knees. And this time we'll bring the hands behind the back, fingertips point down. Squeezing the elbows toward each other. Lift the heart. Lift as though you're trying to reach your heart toward the ceiling as you press the hips forward. Coming into your comfortable edge here, and it might not be super comfortable with this throat and heart open like this, but finding a spot where you can stay and breathe, lifting and lengthening rather than crunching into the lower back. A couple more breaths. And the release from here on an exhale is back to full child's pose. So flip the feet, sink the hips, arms can come alongside your body, palms up and forehead down. So now we're releasing the heart onto the thighs and just allowing the shoulders to roll down and everything to just connect to the earth again. And we'll slowly roll back up to seated. Now, if you have a block, we'll get the block. We're going to set up for a bridge pose. So heels fairly close into the sits bones, arms at your sides, and get your block ready. So we'll root down through the feet, slowly peel the tail up, pressing into the feet as the hips rise. Slide your block under. Whatever place feels comfortable for you, place that block. Should be kind of right under the pelvis and at whatever height feels appropriate, where you can release into this. So once you have your block set, you can let the palms face up and release the weight of the body onto that block. See if you can let go of any effort. It doesn't need to be striving here. Letting go of any effort to hold yourself up. See what you can allow the block to hold for you. Bring your awareness back to the heart, feeling the breath expanding from there and contracting into there. Couple more breaths. We'll slowly press into the feet and lift the hips just enough to slide the block away. Roll back down one vertebra at a time. And then we'll open the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together. If you want something under the knees, you could put a block under each knee if you like for them to support. Otherwise, we're going to bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Knees fall open. Just notice your flow of breath. Do you feel it more in the chest, more in the belly? Do you feel it moving from belly to chest or chest to belly as you inhale? Release any effort in the pelvis, the legs, the lower back. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll straighten the legs. Find your block again. And if you like, you might want to place a blanket or something over the block if it doesn't feel super comfortable to lie directly on it. So we want to align it so that the block is between the shoulder blades and the crown of the head is gently touching the floor. So you align that in a way that feels appropriate for you. And if you need something else under the head too, you could place a blanket or something to kind of bring the floor further up, or you can just let the head hang a little there. So finding this fish pose, so we're going to kind of flex the feet and press into the balls of the feet. So feet are active, legs are active, like you're pressing the inner edges of the legs into each other, kind of firming up all the way up the center line of the body. Arms at your sides, palms up. So supported fish, but our legs are active. Letting the shoulders roll down and open. Should feel fairly comfortable on the head and neck here. If it doesn't, place something under the head or adjust as needed. Just a few more breaths here. And as we're breathing here, feel that breath as though it's initiating into the heart and expanding from that place, and then contracting back in. So maybe you visualize it, maybe you feel it, maybe you just imagine as though your heart were growing with every inhale and retracting with every exhale, pumping the blood out. A few more breaths. Now we'll bring the palms down and walk the elbows in a little so we can gently lift ourselves up and remove the block. Roll back down, give the knees a hug. Happy baby, hands come to the feet, draw the knees down toward the armpits, open through the hips, maybe rock a little side to side if you like. And then when you're ready, finding your Shavasana position, legs a comfortable distance away from each other, arms at your sides, palms up. Feel the chest supported by the shoulder blades. Maybe you want to do a little movement here before you're ready to totally release. So maybe squeeze the feet, the hands, the face. And then nice long exhale, signaling to the mind and body that we are letting go of control of the breath, just allowing the body to release, allowing the breath to be breathed in and out of you, as though waves on an ocean, just lapping at the shore. Eternal, unforced. Releasing any tension in the toes, the feet, the ankles, releasing the calves, the knees, the big muscles in the legs, the thighs, hips and pelvis, buttocks, softening the lower back and belly. Feeling that deep release moving up through all the little muscles of the rib cage, around the chest and back. Even feeling the organs, the heart, settling, calming down. Feel that release in the armpits, the arms, elbows, wrists, hands, fingers. Softening up the back of the neck and base of the throat. Unclench the teeth. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Softening the little muscles of the face, the cheeks, the ears, temples, eyes, forehead, scalp. Feeling yourself here, releasing into relaxed awareness. Maybe blurring the lines a little between yourself and the outer world. As you rest here in your Shavasana, there's a poem from Hafiz. Children can easily open the drawer that lets the spirit rise up and wear its favorite costume of mirth and laughter. When the mind is consumed with remembrance of the divine, something divine happens to the heart that shapes the hand and tongue and eye into the word love. Gently feel some movements returning to the fingers, the toes, the larger joints, eventually stretching the arms long overhead. Big inhale, and with an exhale, give the knees a hug. Gently make your way back to your comfortable seat. We'll move into a little bit of breathing and then meditation practice. So find your dignified posture. And for our breathing practice, we're going to bring our awareness back to the center, the heart. And as you inhale, feeling the breath moving in through the nose, filling up chest, abdomen. And as you exhale, feeling it coming back out the nose. So next inhale, when you fill up, feel as though you're holding the breath there after the inhale, holding it in the heart. Even though it's filling up the entire chest cavity, you're bringing awareness to that heart center, and then exhale out the nose. So again, inhale, holding the breath in as though you're holding it in that heart area. Maybe noticing any sensations, images, words, thoughts that arise there. Exhale, release. And continuing like that on your inhale, filling up. Pause with the breath held in, feeling into the heart. Exhale, gentle release. One more breath like that. Now from the Radiance Sutras. These are all different ways to meditate upon different ideas. And this one is about feeling yourself connected to everything else through your heart. The heart of the universe pulses in all hearts. There is one who is the life in all forms. There is one who is joyful in simply existing in all bodies as all bodies. Explore the life that is the life of your present form. One day you will discover it is not different from the life of the secret one, and your heart will sing triumphant songs of being at home everywhere. So now we will close our eyes or softly gaze in front of us and feel yourself in this present body right now. Bring to mind someone that you love dearly, human, animal, whatever it might be. And feel as though you're in the presence of that being that you love. And feel the way that your love radiates out from you to this other being. Now turn it around and feel the love being returned to you from this other being. And feel yourself receiving that love. And now imagine that you're looking at yourself in front of you. You are the other being, and you are experiencing love for yourself in the same way that you experience that love for that other being. Recognizing any perceived shortcomings or things that you don't like about yourself and embracing them with compassion, as though you would to a good friend or a loved one. Feel that deep love and compassion for yourself. I'm recognizing that we are all part of the one thing, all part of the divine mystery. And to love yourself is to love it all. We close our practice by dropping chin to chest, bringing hands back to heart center where we started, thumbs at the sternum, taking a deep inhale here. Hold the breath in. Hold the breath in for as long as is comfortable. And then a big exhale out the mouth when you can't hold it in any longer. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. May your heart radiate out into the world.
Thanks, Kate. Namaste.
Namaste.